This is the Basically Parents podcast with your hosts, Jacob Schilperud and Evelyn Schilperud. Join us every week as we discuss our family, our baby, and our life in the operating room. And welcome back, everybody. This is episode 2 of Basically Parents with your stars, Jacob and Evelyn Schilperud.
I love how you use the term your stars.
Yeah, because we're big time now. We made one published podcast that in its opening week got a astonishing 91 views or listens, I guess.
Plays. It's called plays.
Plays. So that's pretty cool. I mean,
yeah.
I was expecting 0. There's 6 people in my immediate family, so I was expecting like 5, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty solid.
I was going to make a very passive-aggressive comment right there, but...
And then, the feedback from our coworkers, the ones who actually listened, was pretty exciting.
Yeah, because they don't hold back at all.
No, they're savages.
They really are.
And not just that they are savage individuals, but they love to fuck with me in particular, and it was still pretty positive.
Yeah, I don't know why they love to fuck with you. Everybody was just so positive about, the feedback they give me.
Well, it's good. It's great. And now they're going to be in for an even bigger surprise when they check out episode 2 and they get to listen to our new super cool and super badass introduction.
I think it's too much.
I think it's not enough.
I think you were sitting down and you were playing with this stupid little computer thing for way too long, and you just added way too many sound effects.
Well, I disagree. I think it's exciting. I think it gets the crowd going. It got me amped up. I'm ready to fucking go, ready to rage. And that's how I feel about that. But I've got a great idea.
Okay, what's the idea?
We're going to put this up for a vote.
Oh.
We're going to let the people decide if the introduction is good, bad, too much, not enough.
That's too many questions.
Well, it's not. It's going to be...
Just give like 3 basic...
No, it's not going to be... I'm just speaking figuratively. But it's going to be one question. You like the intro or not? We're going to post it on our story on Friday when we drop this episode. And then we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
I like that idea.
I like it too. But what about for the people that are not following us on Instagram or just don't have Instagram?
Well, then, I don't know. Their voices won't be heard. Follow us on Instagram if you want your voice heard by the parents.
No, I think you can review our podcasts on Apple and Spotify.
Okay.
So,
then,
I don't know.
Then,
you can put your answer in there on the review.
Well, what if they don't like it and we just get we get 91 people being like, this is dog shit?
Well, I fucking told you. Then I get to say I told you so.
Okay, fine. I'm willing to take that risk.
Okay, fine.
All right, so...
Let us know if you like it, if you don't like it, or if you're like me, you think it's too much.
If you're wrong and you think it's too much.
I'm not wrong.
Well, you've contributed almost nothing to the...
No, that's not true. I came up with this idea, and I encouraged you to do it because you were always on the fence about it, and I was like, no, let's just fucking do it. It's cool. We'll get it done, and it'll be fine. It's going to be fine. And I went on Amazon, and I bought us all of the equipment. So.
I know. I was just going to say you haven't been heavily involved in the creative side of things. You just kind of show up and talk.
Yeah, because I'm here for my commentary.
Well, okay, that's reasonable. Anyway, so we'll do that. That sounds like a rockin' awesome plan.
I'm also, not a very tech-savvy person.
Neither am I. I'm figuring this out as I go.
It's the YouTube videos.
Yeah. It's YouTube. I learned a lot from a couple different channels. And, some other, they're like YouTube or podcast producers almost. People whose job it is to kind of spread knowledge, and they've built their platform off of educating other people who are in the
Who are idiots just like us.
And the other idiots who are trying to, start these podcasts.
Yeah. One of the doctors at work when he found out we had a podcast, he like came up to me. He was like so surprised. And he was like, "You're doing a podcast?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Can you not say so loud? I'm still a little self-conscious about it." And then he's just like, "Give it here." He gives me a fist bump. He's like, "That's so cool." Anyways, it made me feel so good. Just thought that I should put this in there because I know he's going to listen to it.
Did he listen to it?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, and he liked it.
And he liked it.
That's awesome.
So shout out to Dr. You Know Who.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all you get.
That's all you get.
Anyways, I just wanted to circle back real quick to what I mentioned. It's Think Media is the channel that I was subscribing to that gave me a lot of good advice, helped me out with a lot of tips. The other thing that I'd like to give a little shout out to is Podcastle. It's a really intuitive application that we're using to help me edit these podcasts, and kind of help build our platform.
Also, this is not a paid advertisement.
Absolutely not. 100% not paid. I don't think anybody who has 18 followers on Instagram gets paid advertisers.
Yeah. So,
But hey, Podcastle, if you have something in your algorithm that picks up when people say your name,
I'm sure it does.
let me know.
Dude, it's so weird how like all of this, internet thing works. Like yesterday, one of our coworkers again was like, "Hey, I listen to a lot of podcasts and your podcast came up on my feed." And I was like, "What do you mean? You didn't find it through like Instagram?" She's like, "No, it just popped up on my podcast page." And then I listened to it. So that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, when I found that out, I was super excited because I didn't think that something with such low volume
would get advertised.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's cool if it's getting that way.
She said that she thinks it's because our phone numbers, like she has my phone number in her phone,
mm-hmm.
and both of our phone numbers are connected to our podcast account. So she was like saying that maybe that was it. I don't know, but also, dude, these fucking phones are listening to us 24/7.
Yeah, all the time, 100%. Like I'm getting advertisements and things now for microphones and studio equipment and shit.
Yeah, it's weird. When we first got pregnant, and we still like hadn't really told anybody, but we obviously were talking amongst ourselves. I started getting like all of these advertisements for like cribs, car seats, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
They are always listening.
They're always listening. It's like Big Brother.
I try to avoid it. Like I was so against having the Echo Dot or whatever the fuck, the Alexa listening device on in our house.
You're so dumb. You literally carry your phone 24/7. Not just that, but you have an Apple Watch that you wear like 90% of the time.
I'm not currently wearing it.
That's why I said 90% of the time. Okay? What? You wear it to sleep.
Only when I'm on call.
Okay. Well, whatever. Proves my point that like...
That's because it's a risk versus reward situation. And I've slept through my phone calls while being on call before, and after I got in trouble for that happening, I decided to start sleeping in it when I'm on call.
That's never happened to me, thankfully. I've never not answered a phone call. From work.
The problem, I think, is with like a lot of things, you start to get a little bit lackadaisical. And so...
Ew, who are you, lackadaisical?
What? Yeah.
What are you, dictionary?
No, that's not a big word. Anyways,
that is a big word.
And so I just got used to like rarely ever getting called in the middle of the night, so I would fall asleep without it turned on and stuff like that, or without my ringer turned on. And then you just, because in the beginning I wasn't like that. In the beginning I was super paranoid. Like I wouldn't even sleep some nights. I would just like toss and turn, and then like wake up and check my phone, toss and turn, check my phone, and then I just, after enough time, you don't worry like that anymore. You know what's the
worst? When you're on call on a Saturday and your first call, and you haven't received a phone call, and you're just sitting there by your phone all nervous, You're like, okay, come on, come on. And then 8 p.m. comes by and you're like, fuck, I haven't gotten called in all day. I'm for sure going to get that call at 3 in the morning. And then it comes and you're just like, I knew it. I knew it.
Fortunately, it doesn't happen too often like that.
It doesn't, but when it does happen, it fucking sucks.
I think the only thing worse than that is when you do know you have a case. And so you go in and you do the case. And then you're like waiting there, not ready to go home yet because you're just waiting for that next case to come.
Because it's still too early
Because it's still too early to be confident that that's the end for the day. And then you go home and you like
as soon as you
start
get
to
home,
make lunch. And then as soon as you like turn on the oven, boom, you get that call to come back for another case.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I get so mad.
Yeah, but that's the life we signed up for.
Yeah, I guess. I don't like taking call anymore. I used to. When I first started, I was like, yeah, give me all the call. Give me all the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm just like, fuck this shit. I don't want to do any of this.
Yeah, when I first started working at the hospital, I hated taking call. I never took it. I always tried to give it away just because I couldn't like it gave me so much anxiety thinking like just being on the edge of my seat waiting to potentially have to come in. And then finally I realized I needed some money. I needed to make more money. And so I got back on the call schedule and I started keeping it. And then after that, it just became a regular thing. And now that I take heart call, we don't do a ton of emergency hearts. So I just.
Yeah, but when you do.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's low, like, chance of getting called in. But when you do get called in, it sucks because it's like
you're there
6
for,
hours,
yeah.
7 hours. It's maybe more.
Yeah, not small cases.
Yeah, you're not getting called in for a real quick
and then
like
you're
DNC.
Being rushed.
Right.
And then you have so much shit to open, so much shit to set up. You're already nervous. You're like, oh my god, I don't have time to do anything.
Right, and then you always run the risk of having a patient who's dying because it's an emergency heart surgery.
Yeah, I'm not excited to take heart call.
It's
I mean, like I am, but I'm not.
The day or like the pay periods where you took all of this call and never worked once, and you end up with like 100 hours of standby. Those are the days that make it all worth it. Or those are the paychecks that make it worth it.
And then you look at your taxes, like your gross pay and your net pay.
No.
And then you're like, oh my god.
No, that's the secret to staying happy with call life. You don't look at what you're giving Uncle Sam, because that will just tear you up.
It's terrible. Now that Maddie, so I claim Maddie, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little nervous going back to work just because I didn't know how like this whole tax thing was gonna work. But now that I'm like, I've been back at work for a couple months now, I love claiming my child. They barely take any taxes from me.
Well, that's great.
Well, yeah, because it used to be like as a single, income.
Yeah. And now that you have a dependent.
Yeah, dude, they used to take like $1,500 from my paycheck, and it killed me. Literally killed me. And now I'm just like, maybe I'll have another child.
I was say, imagine if we had 2 dependents.
No way.
Or 3.
No.
Or 4.
You're out of your goddamn mind. Children are expensive.
I know.
They want my hospital payment.
Well, they'll get it.
Eventually.
In due time.
Listen, they just finished processing it, so it's not my fucking fault.
Yeah, that took a really long time. I'm actually surprised with how long it took to finally get a bill from the hospital. Like 8.5 months.
But not the anesthesiologist. That motherfucker gave me a bill literally a month after
and then again,
I gave birth.
And then again after you paid it. And then again, they try to keep pulling random bullshit out of their ass to say you owe them.
Dude, I love our anesthesiologists,
mm-hmm.
the ones that we work with. But these motherfuckers over at where I delivered are money grabbers, okay?
Yeah, 100%.
They're trying to get me for every single cent.
Mm-hmm.
And then I call them and I'm like, okay, well, can you explain to me, please? And they just like keep beating around the bush. I'm like, sir, it says right here in the paperwork that my insurance company already gave you about $9,000 and you still want another $2,000 from me? Really?
Yep.
Really? I literally saw you for 15 minutes.
That's just how it goes. The thing that killed me about the anesthesia bill was
That I felt the pain during surgery. By the
well,
way, guys, I ended up having a C-section.
yeah. Well, that too, but I was gonna say there's a CPT code on there for like peri-hospital care. Like they are billing for the entire stay in the hospital.
Uh-huh.
Homeboy came back one time after delivery, and you were in the bathroom, and I was like, she's in the restroom, and he's like, okay, I'll come back. Never came back.
Nope.
Yet there's a CPT code on there for 3 days worth of billing.
And he never came back. No, but remember, he gave orders. He wrote down orders, so
Oh,
that was enough.
yeah, okay. Well, I guess so. I don't know. It's just it was like my first experience being on the other side of things.
Yeah. I don't know, but I did speak to a couple of the anesthesiologists that we work with about all of this. And like I was explaining to them like the bill and I told them about the same code that you were talking about. And like all of them were like, "Wow, we're lucky if we even get like $15 back." The fact that like they got that much out of insurance already, they should just be happy with it.
Well, that's what I would have expected. Like,
But that's what's getting me is that their group is being greedy, you know?
yeah, that's also what I don't really agree with because like if insurance doesn't give anything for it,
Then fine, you know what I mean? Like I will.
well, that's what I'm saying. The code is bullshit because if they code for that and the insurance is like, no, we don't agree with that. We're not going to give you anything for that. So they're just like, no, that's what's happening, and now we're just going to put that bill on the patient.
But dude, now that I also got my hospital bill back and like I see how much we are owing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with paying that amount just because our insurance already paid so much.
Right.
And compared to what we have to pay, it's nothing.
Right.
And then somehow anesthesia still, we have to pay anesthesia more than we have to pay the hospital.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Does not make any sense because the hospital 100% did more.
Definitely.
But I'm not hating on anesthesiologists, by the way. I'm not saying that.
Absolutely not. We love our anesthesiologists
Yeah.
to death.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm talking about a specific group that has nothing to do with the group that we work with.
correct. So anesthesiologists, friends of ours, if you listen to this, we love you guys. We're not talking about you.
Yeah. Just wanted to make that clear.
You know what they're gonna do?
Give us so much shit.
No, they're gonna listen to this, and then when we go back to work, they're gonna be like, well, "Why didn't you just deliver here? We would have just
Oh
we
my
would
God.
have waived everything for you. You would have been our pro bono case."
Yeah. Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too, okay?
I know. The care that you received from your OB, who is a family friend of ours, I think was massive, right? So obviously that's why we went with her.
Yeah.
But privileges and
She's also such a good OB.
Mhm.
I mean, like, I felt safe, with her. She was compassionate. She's very intelligent.
Mhm.
And, like, I needed that, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. Especially for a first pregnancy.
Yeah, but I'm going back to her.
You're gonna go back to her, huh?
Well, yeah. I can't just have her deliver one baby and then never go back.
I mean, you could. Maybe we pull some strings next time and work the connects a little bit better.
But I love my OB. I love the girls at the office. I love her.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I love her entire group, to be
That's-
honest with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just talking about the anesthesiologist.
I know.
Pull some strings. We know some people. We don't have to like they don't have to treat us like complete strangers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of what's it called when you have like when you're in the same industry? A little professional courtesy, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I could.
Yeah.
That's one way of putting a little bit of, take care of your own type of thing.
Yeah. That was the other thing too. I don't think we really disclosed that we work in the OR. Did we?
No, because I didn't want to.
The only person that we disclosed this information to was our traveler nurse because She was doing some dumb shit.
Yeah. I didn't want to be like those people, but when you see things that are questionable, you gotta pull that card a little bit because I think it does change the care. I know like the memes and the jokes are like they nobody cares, but being in the OR, we care. You know, when a patient who's like a nurse at the hospital or the family member of a nurse or you
Mm-hmm.
know, you give them the extra special VIP treatment, right?
Yeah.
You go a little bit above and beyond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because they know what to expect. Or at least that, that family member told them what to expect before
Right,
coming in,
right. They're oh, you know, you're with Evelyn and Jacob. They're really great. They're really great. So you're kind of like,
Oh, God, why'd you tell them that?
you know, so you turn on the charms a little bit
You
and
turn on your customer service voice.
a little extra,
Yeah.
a little bit
Hi,
extra.
good morning. How are you today? Even though you're having a shitty day yourself.
I mean, even I turned on the small talk, and I am the worst at it.
I'm so bad at small talk. I
Uh,
hate it so much. It makes me cringe.
yeah, I'm not about that.
The other day, I forget who was asking me. I think it was my charge nurse. I came in and I was like not 100% awake yet. But like I come in and I'm like, "Hi, good morning. How are you?" And she's like, "I'm good. How are you?" And then I think I asked her how she was like 4 times until I finally realized that like you've asked her 4 times, Evelyn. Wake the fuck up. And then she just kept looking at me and answering the question. But she was like, I could tell that she was laughing. And then finally, I'm like, what are you laughing at? And then I'm like, oh, I was like, oh, I keep asking you how you are. We just kept going back and forth. Hi, good morning. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm good. How are you? And I was like, oh, fuck.
Well, to be fair, we start at 6 a.m., so it's early.
Yeah, I think it was 5:30 that day.
We start early, and you combine that with Maddie, who has been not sleeping wonderfully.
Yeah. There are some nights where she sleeps through the night, and there are some nights where she just like has 1 or 2 wake ups. And like, I know people out there are going to be like, well, mine didn't sleep through the night until they were like 2 years old.
Yeah.
I get it. But like, having to wake up, go downstairs, make her a bottle, come back upstairs, give her the bottle. You have to change her diaper. You got to put her back in the bed, make sure that she falls asleep, and then sometimes she doesn't want to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to hold her for a little bit, put her back, and then next thing you know, an hour went by, and you're like, oh my God, now I can't fall asleep. I'm fully awake.
Yeah. It's those growth spurts. That 369, I mean, I am 100%, I support that. I've heard that. I don't remember where I heard that. Apologize for
Probably
not,
on the internet.
yeah, citing my source, but 369 growth spurts, developmental milestones at 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and it has come hard and fast with this little girl. 6 months where she was great. 3 months we had a little sleep regression. We got out of that. 6 months again, and now 9 months we're kind of hitting us. I think we're compensating a little bit, but yeah,
It's rough.
those milestones have been rough.
Or I think the other thing is like when they learn something new or when they're about to learn something new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like cognitive milestones as well as part of it.
Uh-huh.
Like new skill set or
Like
stuff
her
like that.
walking. Oh God.
Yeah, so I was talking to the orthopedic surgeon that I was working with today about it. He was asking me about her, and I was like, man, she's walking, she stands all the time. She's taking up to like 5 or 6 steps. She's mama and dad, mama dad, and
Oh
then
my gosh, she doesn't shut up with that.
it's just he was like, wow, that's so young, and I was like, I know, I'm almost nervous, but I guess it's not a bit like it's great. It's not freakishly early. I don't think we need to get her pituitary fucking scanned or anything, but
What do you mean?
you know, like I think that's more for like growth hormone overdevelopment.
Are you? Well, now I'm gonna go on the internet and research this.
No.
Why would you tell me this?
No. Taking steps at 9 months is not
No,
freakishly
my mom
advanced.
said I started walking at 9 months. Like around 9, 10 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
9, I started taking steps just like how she's doing, and then by 10 months, I was walking.
Well, you're just so special.
No, but I forgot who told me this. Maybe I read it somewhere. I didn't read anything. Maybe I
You saw
watched
it on the
it.
TikTok.
I watched it on the TikTok. Girls develop faster than boys do. So like, they'll start wanting to walk faster, sit up faster, all of these things.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe it was from like a parent that has both a boy and a girl.
I don't know. I don't know about like baby developmental milestones like that, but I do know over lifespan development, for sure, females mature faster.
Well, apparently it's the same thing when they're babies. It's
It makes
just
sense.
in a different,
It makes
way.
Sense. It makes sense. It's opened up a whole new world of pain in the asses having her mobile. Because now she doesn't want to be in her little walkie thing, her little walkie toy. She wants to try to do it on her own. And we have tile in the house, so that isn't a good mix for babies learning how to walk who fall every 3 to 4 steps.
But she does do a good job at falling. She's very good at falling.
She
just
like
her Papa John
right
was.
to her butt.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I have padding on my butt. I'm just going to fall there.
Although I did see her fall on the tile once, and it like jarred her. Like she was like, oh, this isn't my mat. Because falling on her little play mat in her cage.
Oh my God, don't say her cage, her playpen. God, you make it seem like we're terrible parents. It's a playpen, guys.
It's a baby cage in the basement. What's wrong with that?
We don't even have a basement. We live in California, Jacob.
She's got a water bowl in it.
Oh my God.
And a formula dispenser.
Stop it. A baby Nespresso.
I put one of those things, those little feeders you put in like a hamster cage. So she just crawls over to it and...
You're so annoying.
And drinks when she's thirsty or hungry.
Guys, don't listen to my husband. He's full of shit.
Well, I don't think so.
It's a playpen that fits like 3 fucking adults in there, so it's that big.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's a playpen in a playroom. It's big enough for me to sneak naps in there sometimes. It's my new favorite thing to do when I'm just exhausted and she refuses to stop. I'll just grab a pillow and I'll lay in her playpen, and then it's daddy jungle gym time.
She just climbs in you. You just lay
I just lay
in the playpen, take a nap.
Sometimes. I've closed my eyes once, and I woke up, I was like, oh my God, I fell asleep.
And she was just sitting there next to you looking at you?
She's just sitting there playing with one of her 1,000 toys in there.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like Maddie.
Yeah, it's a good time.
How would you know you were asleep?
Well, the fact that I managed to close my eyes for a second made it good times.
Yeah, well. Bad daddy. Mommy doesn't do that. She's always awake.
Mommy ignores her.
Oh, God.
Daddy comes home and I can tell that she's had no stimulation and no joy in her life.
That's not true, okay?
I come home and she just looks at me with those big old brown eyes. Dad, 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 dad. No, you know what I can't get enough of, and I think it's so hilarious because it's very fitting to mommy's personality and daddy's personality, is the way she learned how to say mom, mama, and dad, dad, dad. Because when it's mom, it's loud, mama, 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 which is very much like her mom. And when she says dad, it's like whispered. She's like, dad, 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 dad. And I'm obviously the calmer one of the two of us.
Are you saying that I'm loud and obnoxious?
I didn't say obnoxious. Definitely loud.
I'm not that loud. I'm pretty loud. Yeah, okay, fine.
We'll see. I'll put a poll up on that too. Is Evelyn loud and borderline obnoxious?
I think I'm great.
You are great, but that doesn't mean you can't be also loud.
And obnoxious? I am.
I don't think I'm allowed to say it, so I won't.
I will say sometimes I'm very self-aware.
And then sometimes?
I'm not. Not at all. Yeah, I am a little loud. Okay, fine, whatever.
Speaking of not being very self-aware, I got yelled at today by our boss because I was sitting at the desk talking to another one of our anesthesiologist friends who has a potty mouth. And
oh, God.
He baited me because it's just like such a comfortable conversation that I started to swear. And I dropped a hard F-bomb.
Ooh, and then she doesn't like
No. And then she just comes out of the office. You guys, there's patients around. I'm like, I'm sorry.
And then the anesthesiologist was like, where are the patients? Well, in the rooms. Yeah, they're asleep.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing that they do, and I'm just like, oh my god, you guys just shut up.
Just say okay.
Yeah, I'm like, just say okay and walk away. Yeah, welcome to the club. She kept yelling at me yesterday too because I too kept saying bad words, and I was like, God, shit. I'm like, oh God, sorry.
I can't help it, man.
I know. Sometimes you're just like having a conversation and you're so comfortable, and then like you just, start saying bad words, and then out comes the boss, and you're just like, oh no, oh no, oh no, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Yeah, I do the puppy dog. I, tuck my tail between my legs. Oh,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'll go back into my room.
And then I go back to my room. Fuck this shit. God damn it.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
It's not fair.
Why is she yelling at me? Everybody does it.
Yeah, exactly. But not at the desk. That's the thing. When you hang out at the desk, it's just too...
It's too much. Everybody just like comes around and like starts having conversations, and then you have to like remind yourself that you're like at work and you can't be cursing.
It becomes the hangout when it really is
work.
It's like, yeah, it's the hangout spot, but it's also like the fulcrum of operations in the OR. And so it's bad news. And then the boss's office has to be right behind it for some reason.
And the boss is always listening. She's so quiet. This is the other thing too, that like she sneaks into her office and she's so quiet in there. And then somebody says something inappropriate and she comes out and you're just standing there like, oh my God, you've been in there the entire time? Have you been listening to this entire conversation? And then she's like, yeah, I heard everything.
That's how she keeps her finger on the pulse of the department.
Yeah, she is everywhere.
She's got her little birds,
Like, what was that guy's name?
Lord Varys.
Lord Varys.
Varys.
Varys. Varys or Varys?
Varys, I think.
I don't know, the eunuch.
Yeah.
He had little birds.
Everywhere.
Damn, it's crazy. Maybe she has little birds too. Trust no one.
Absolutely. That is a golden rule in not only surgery, but in life. Don't trust anybody.
Not even the person you're married to.
No, you could trust them.
I don't trust you.
Well, you should.
I'm watching you.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Is it because I told you that I put Maddie in her cage and I feed her through a hamster bottle?
No, it's a joke. I trust you 90% of the time.
Whatever. It's fine. I trust you. That's why I'm the better basic parent.
Are we basic?
I mean, having a podcast is probably pretty basic.
A lot of people were asking me why we named our podcast Basically Parents, and I didn't know how to like respond to them. So maybe we should like explain why we named it Basically Parents.
Okay. Well, I think so. The title Basically Parents is kind of paying homage to the fact that there is no like guidebook to doing this. And I know, yes, there is. There's tons of books on being parents. It's true, but it's all just like theory and what worked for different kids, different parents, different families. It doesn't work for everybody, right? Like, this is one of the things I was talking about today. The sleeping on the tummy thing, right? Everything that you read, that you see on the internet is don't let your baby sleep on their stomach. It's SIDS and they're going to die for sure, guaranteed, if they sleep on their stomach. But it didn't work for us, right? Those first couple of weeks were so rough. And if I was able to string together 3 or 4 hours of sleep from the hours of fucking 3 a.m. till 6 a.m. because she was laying on her tummy on my chest, like, I did it because I'm not gonna literally kill myself. It doesn't add up, right? You have to like put together your own little
parenting guide.
Yeah, your own little pieces, And then we learned very early on that she prefers to sleep on her stomach, which makes sense because you're a side sleeper.
I'm a belly sleeper.
I don't know, you always end up starting sleep on your side. But I'm 100% belly sleeper. I got a position down to a science that I go right into, and I fall asleep,
It puts you to bed
it
immediately.
puts me to bed immediately, and it's on my stomach. So, it makes sense for her to be a belly sleeper. And what am I going to do to my 4-month-old who's sleeping through the night? It just so happens once she rolls herself onto her stomach, I don't know.
Yeah,
We were
she
very
sleeps through the night.
cautious in the beginning. We have her on monitors or like on the video monitor. It has
And she
sound,
was sleeping
so we're
right next to
listening.
us,
And she
too.
was sleeping in the bedroom in her bassinet. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, I understand the concerns about it, but for us, she liked it. It was obvious she liked it. She came from parents who slept in similar ways, so there was all like everything pointed to like this kid is going to be a stomach sleeper, and you just had to let it fly a little bit. Don't get me wrong. I was nervous as hell in the beginning. I know you were worse than me, but like
Yeah, I was so paranoid.
it had to be done. Really.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe the next child will be different.
But like we never put her on her stomach to sleep, just to
No.
clarify.
Yeah.
I didn't like us make the assumption. Just as she started to develop and started to roll back and forth, she would roll herself to her stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't change that. Just let her sleep on her stomach,
Yeah.
and then
When she was like a newborn and she couldn't move.
put her on her back. Make her sleep on her back.
Yeah. But we also had a lot of nights where she slept on us. That's also something that, people are going to say, don't sleep with your baby. Well, my baby did not like to be put down.
Yeah.
I think it was because she couldn't get to her stomach.
Yeah. She doesn't stop moving, which is the other thing she started doing early on that is contradicted in all of this baby talk. She did not like to be swaddled.
No,
As,
fucking hated it.
as a newborn, she didn't enjoy being swaddled.
I think it was like the second night at the hospital.
We had one nurse who wrapped her up so goddamn tight, rolled her ass like a little blunt. And that was the only night that she was like content with being swaddled. But she constantly
Got out of the swaddle.
was getting out of the swaddle. And so,
And I tried so many swaddles out there.
yeah, everything. And so eventually we just stopped. We're like, fuck it, the kid doesn't want to be in a swaddle. I think what it was is because she was sleeping better when we didn't constrict her active sleep.
Oh, yeah. And then the other thing that was very early on, I mean, she was like this in the belly.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
She slept with her hands in her face. Like every ultrasound that we
Yeah.
have, her hands are in her face.
Right. That's
And
another
then,
big point.
She comes out, sure enough, hands in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And by being swaddled, she didn't like not having access to her hands, so she would cry.
Mm-hmm.
And then we figured out, that she liked her hands, and bam, we got like 3 hours of sleep.
Exactly. So, you gotta be, you have to
listen to the cries.
listen to the cries. You just have to listen to your own intuition and trust it a little bit. And, what works for others doesn't work for everybody. And so, that being said, we have no idea what we're doing. I think it's fair, and I think most parents would agree, you really have no idea what you're doing. You're kind of figuring it out as you go. Maybe it's because it's our first kid and we'll not feel this way, and if we have a second.
No way.
But in the end, like, it's hard to be like, I don't want to call myself a parent with such confidence. And basically, parents is like, yeah, we're parents, but I'm no fucking expert. I'm basically a parent.
Yeah. Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've had people. I hate when people want to talk about our podcast and want answers to things that we covered.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to talk about? Well, I already told you our punchline or our like tagline: family, OR, raising a baby.
Yeah. But give me more. No, go listen to it.
Right. So I'm going to refer everybody to episode 2 if they're interested in knowing the origin of the title of our podcast, and then tell them to smash that subscribe button and like our episodes.
Oh my god, you're so bad at this.
Well, because it's so hokey. I don't know. I'm not.
Like, subscribe, and follow.
Okay. Well, like I said, I don't.
I watch a lot of TikToks.
I'm an old man. I don't know. I don't.
You're really not that old.
I'm an old soul though. I don't like all of this technology shit as we sit here
Well,
making a podcast.
yeah, you're pretty good at it. You literally at the beginning of this podcast said that you've been doing all the work. So
But I'm figuring it out. It's not like
it's not like you're an expert. You're basically
I'm basically
a podcaster.
a podcaster. See? There you go. Friends and family who don't understand our title.
Yeah.
Why
We're
don't you-
not experts at things.
Why don't you basically tune in and get the answers to your question? How about that? Love you guys. Well, on that note, we're 43 minutes into episode 2.
Shit. All right. Well, let's keep this short and sweet.
We gave you guys an extra 15 minutes on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that fits into your car ride to or from work. That's where I've been telling everybody to check it out on your ride home. That's where I listen to my podcast.
Or just, put some headphones in while you're doing chores. You could do that too.
And yeah.
Instead of watching TV, sit outside and listen to our podcast.
Right, when you're playing with your kids, let our podcast play in the background. Don't even pay attention to it. It's fine. Just let it play. Just keep playing it. That way the algorithm keeps advertising us to other people.
That's right. Just press play. Support us.
Exactly. Press play, support us. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to episode 2. We love you guys, and we will see you later.
Bye. Oh, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow.
There you go. From the real
Follow us on Instagram at Basically Parents.
Follow us on Instagram at basicallyparents at basically_parents. Our Apple Podcast station, Basically Parents. Spotify, Basically Parents. Thank you so much. Talk to you guys later.